we need to finish this filter. Oh shit. Gotta start the car. So for the sump, all we gotta do is go ahead and add some more biological media. And again, this media is to promote anaerobic bacteria. We're also not going to be using your traditional filter media when it comes to filling up a static bed filter. We're going with the remote deep sand bed, but in my case, I'm going to be filling them up with jars. The reason why I'm putting them into jars is because my divider that's in the sump right now is actually pretty weak. It's just a temporary divider that I'm using to hold my K1. And then in order for me to use the deep sand bed, I need to put the sand into jars so it wouldn't kind of push over that divider and go straight into the K1 section. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're headed back to the house and we're gonna go ahead and fill these jars with sand. So this is the section that we're going to work on today. In my last update video, I actually showed you guys me getting a handful of shrimp for this tank. I had some ghost shrimp and some bamboo shrimp. But for some reason, I don't know where my bamboo shrimp went. I think it climbed out or something, but all I have is my ghost shrimp left. And I have no idea where the bamboo shrimp is. I thought he was actually in here, but I checked and there's nothing in there. So that's kind of a mystery. I think he climbed out, but I checked the surroundings and there's no sight of the bamboo shrimp at all. So he either went really, really far or he's just totally gone. But anyways, we're going to be filling up this specific area with some jars. Just like the one in the back, we're going to be filling up this whole section with it. And I'll figure out what I want to do with those bricks over there. But in the meantime, that's what we're going to do. So these are the jars that we're going to be using. Whenever you're using jars and other household items that's in your aquarium that's going to be in the water column, you want to make sure you get all this stuff off. All these labels and residue and stuff. You want to get this off and you want to turn this into this. Make sure that you wipe it clean because any of that stuff that's left behind is going to leach into your aquarium and cause you more issues. So now that that's done, water's filled up, sand's in there. One more thing that I like to do before I add like stuff like this or when I add sand into my aquariums is I like to make sure that everything that's floating inside the top is poured out. Another thing I like to do before adding stuff like this into my aquariums is I like to put a little bit of water conditioner inside here or inside the areas that have like used sand or gravel, just to make sure that nothing in here is kind of bad. And adding a little bit of water conditioner doesn't really hurt, but it should benefit nevertheless. I just put a little bit in there. Seachem Safe is what I use for my water changes, just because when I started working with bigger tanks, I stopped using Seachem Prime because that bottle itself is really, really expensive and it only treats like 100 something gallons when this treats 60,000 US gallons. That's a lot. So now they're ready to be put inside the tank and we're gonna do that right now. New jar, old jar. We're gonna go ahead and keep this area kind of clear just because I'm gonna add some other stuff. So what I found is a bag of Biomax. Actually, this is, as you can see, it's actually activated and there's beneficial bacteria in here. The reason why I'm using this in my sump is because my hospital tank and my quarantine tank is actually fairly empty. There's no fish in there at all, and I want this bacteria to live. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this into my sump that's in the garage right now until the day I need to use a quarantine tank or a hospital tank. And when that day happens, I'll go ahead and take it out and put it back into that tank. But as of right now, I need this bacteria to stay alive, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it into this sump. and hopefully gather some good beneficial bacteria. So here it is. So we're pretty much done with this project. Everything's going good. I have my aerobic side and my anaerobic side of my sump complete. Hopefully these jars work out pretty well. If not, then I'll go ahead and add some more customization to it. But as of right now, it's going to stay put and everything is going to stay the way it is. My sump is now ready for new fish. I should be expecting new tank mates for my fish fairly soon. I'm just waiting for my LFS to get them in stock. Hopefully the next video you'll see a couple more new fish and maybe some new projects. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. Peace, guys.